There is this centuries-old Japanese art of fixing broken pottery. Rather than rejoin ceramic pieces with a camouflage adhesive, this technique fills in the cracks with powdered gold, silver, or platinum. This method produces a one-of-a-kind appearance to each repaired portion of pottery. This interesting technique, kintsugi, means golden joinery in Japanese. I think planning is like kintsugi. Planning theory to me is about being open to learning ways of thinking about flaws and addressing them. Let me explain. Planning has gotten a little bit too familiar with old methods of analyzing a community through methods like surveys, but theory can help reveal other effective ways of engaging with the community to get their feedback. Charles Lindblom wrote that rational planning is like the root of a tree. In my metaphor, I see rational planning as a bowl because rational planning was heavily used to form foundational planning programs we use and build upon today. Thomas Harper makes it clear that rational planning has a clear step-by-step scientific approach to addressing a community's problem. The issue or theoretical crack that is appearing in these bowls is that they exclude populations that are not identified as the majority because they go with more favorable alternatives. In other words, it is inequitable. We have ignored this crack, and now the crack in our bowl is expanding. We as planners have tried camouflaging it, but it is clear that this is not what we should do because camouflaging is not attractive. The first step of change is being transparent that what was done before is not working. An example that illustrates my point perfectly happened last year. For my community engagement class, I was given the task of conducting surveys to help produce a 20-year public lands master plan. Now, the idea of a master plan is not a new concept. In my metaphor, this is the bowl. Although there were marginalized communities represented in the survey, their needs got overshadowed by the majority perspective. This was heartbreaking because these marginalized community parks don't have lights, trash cans, and the park smelled bad from factories close by. These needs have not been addressed for years, and I think the disparity in quality of parks in marginalized and non-marginalized communities is getting larger. In my metaphor, this is the growing crack in the bowl. The Public Lands Master Plan has the option of not following up with the lower income communities. In my metaphor, this is the camouflage adhesive. Or they could be transparent about their past shortcoming and actively address the problem. This is the metaphorical power gold. Personally, I would like to be a planner that is more vulnerable to past shortcomings and not hide it. I have seen people hurt because I have evolved from a community where planners didn't want to acknowledge nor take accountability for their environmental and economic injustice decisions they help make. Planners shouldn't camouflage the cracks, but instead acknowledge them and fill it with gold. I think there is something beautiful in the struggle, and miraculous things can emerge when we choose to embrace shortcomings to make something one of a kind. This ownership and transparency can bind the community together in a way that everyone is proud of. It can become a model for other communities that taking the effort is worth the extra time, care, and even expense.